Guys, I'm back to my Hell in a Cell review. I'm really sorry that I didn't do my SmackDown review yesterday, but I worked like loads on Saturday. I started work at like 6:45 in the morning, didn't finish till 6, and by then I was like, I could not be bothered to watch SmackDown. And then I went to watch it yesterday, and I was like, I cannot be bothered to watch it. I don't know why, I just did not want to watch SmackDown, so I didn't. And yeah, secondly, don't like look at me weirdly because I'm still wearing my work clothes. I'm a slob, okay? I can't be bothered to like change into my other clothes after work. So yeah, I'm still wearing my work clothes because I'm that cool. So Hell in a Cell was actually quite disappointing. I was negative about Night of Champions, but this pay-per-view also, literally, I was like falling asleep. I had to like keep texting Liam saying, help, I can't like, stay awake. I had to come downstairs and eat like loads of chocolates, try and do like a big sugar intake to keep me awake, but that didn't even work. So literally, if you guys haven't watched it yet, like skip to like the main event. Actually no, the last two matches, the women's match and the main event, because they're like the best like two matches. Actually, the Orton and Henry match was pretty good as well. The rest of it was pretty dire, to be honest. So, yeah, definitely not the best pay-per-view that WWE has put on, and still, my opinion of the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, it's a very low one, because the first one in 2009 I hated. Could not stand that pay-per-view, it was so bad. Don't actually think I watched last year's, and yeah, obviously, yeah, this year's one is like really, really bad. So, yeah, the show started off with Christian versus Sheamus. The crowd just, didn't really kind of get into it kind of to start with. It actually wasn't like a really bad match, to be honest. Okay, I'll say that. You can put this one in like the bearable matches like kind of category. It was actually pretty good. Sheamus is actually kind of getting over pretty well now as a face. I'm actually kind of liking him. Just because of the fact that he's not like a goofy kind of baby face. I'm glad that he's, well, the last few weeks he hasn't done any of his kind of like lame promos where he like calls people stupid things that are obviously scripted by the WWE writers. But, he's still, really destroying Christian, even though he's a face, because you get, like, a lot of goofy, like, happy kind of baby faces. So it's nice to see, like, one that's kind of still, can actually, attack people and stuff, but is yet still a good guy, if that makes sense. I'm kind of rambling. I'm really tired. Like I said, falling asleep through this whole thing, so now me rambling when tired is definitely not the best thing in the world. But, it was a pretty good match, to be honest. Christian hits a spear on the outside, then he throws Sheamus in the ring and hits a spear in the ring as well, but that only gets a 2 count. And then Christian counters the Celtic Cross powerbomb, and Sheamus manages to counter the kill switch, which then leads into Sheamus hitting the bro kick, which gets him the win. So that's pretty good. Oh, before the show, when Christian was like entering the ring, you saw the Miz and Truth were like in the arena, like they were like sat down on seats, like had tickets, but the security guards and John Laurinaitis threw them out. So that was at the start. So I was like, something's definitely going to happen, like with those guys. They're not just going to appear at the start and then nothing happened. Sin Cara 1 versus Sin Cara 2 was really boring. Sorry if anybody liked it, but I just thought it was so dull. You could hear the crowd chanting like boring, like throughout it. I couldn't get into it. It was really rubbish. And basically Sin Cara won. Ta-da! That's what you needed about that match. It was pretty bad. And then we just had like random tag team title match. Maybe it was announced on SmackDown, I don't know. Like I said, didn't watch SmackDown, so I don't really know what they did and said and stuff. But so it was Air Boom versus Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger for the tag team titles. Again, I just couldn't get into this match, to be honest. I just don't like Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger as a team. I'm really hot, I'm going to take my jacket off. It's something like roasting in the kitchen. So yeah, I'm just, like taking clothes off while talking in a non-weird way. Yeah, and I just really don't like Swagger and Ziggler as a team. They were like hating on each other like a couple of weeks ago. Now they're suddenly like teammates, and they just don't work well together. I don't like them as a team, so I'm hoping that they don't continue as a team for too much longer, to be honest. Swagger goes to powerbomb Evan Bourne off the top rope, but Evan counters into like a Hurricane Rana kind of pin, and then Kofi holds Ziggler's legs on the outside so he can't get in to break up the pin. So that's how that match goes down. Not very interesting. So the first Hell in a Cell match is Mark Henry versus Randy Orton. I was a bit dubious about this one, to be honest, because I was thinking, no, Henry in a Hell in a Cell match, what is actually going to happen in this? He's not going to do anything kind of like, not like really high risk stuff in Hell in a Cell. It's more of like a brutal-y kind of match. But I was thinking, he's not really going to be able to do that much to make it that interesting. But to be honest, it really wasn't that bad of a match. Obviously, you have to expect a guy of Henry's size. He's not going to be able to do that kind of thing, and it's all mainly going to be about Orton really trying, to beat him. So that he couldn't beat him in a normal match, but how on earth are you going to beat him in kind of a cell? So what happened? Orton actually manages to hit. Well, Henry's in control of ages at the start of the match. Orton does manage to fight back. He actually hits his DDT off the ropes, which is quite nice. And he hits the RKO, but that only gets a 2 count. So that's when Orton's like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble now. My main move didn't like win. So he goes for like the punt after that, but Henry counters it into the World's Strongest Slam, so Henry wins. So I was a bit like, you know, because, you know, you guys know I love Orton, but, you know, it's good. I'm glad that Henry retained the title. They need to keep this kind of run going, or else it would be kind of really unbelievable. I think he needs to face like a couple more people, and then maybe Orton beat him like in a couple months' time or something. I don't really know who they're going to have to defeat him, because it really is like Daniel Bryan versus Mark Henry at WrestleMania. I'm going to cry because I'll be like so bored during that match. Sorry to everybody who loves Daniel Bryan, I just don't like him. What's he been doing lately anyway? Anyway, that's like a complete tangent to what I'm supposed to be talking about. So after the match, he hits the World's Strongest Slam again on Orton, and he tries to do the thing where he puts like, you know, Orton's leg into the chair and jumps off, but Orton manages to counter it and then hits Henry with the chair, but Henry runs away, so Henry is now like being like the cowardly one, and Orton's looking like in control, which is good. I'm liking this feud. It's better than I anticipated it to be, because to be honest I thought, oh man, Mark Henry, this is going to be dire. But it's going pretty well so far. So Cody Rhodes comes out and he unveils the old Intercontinental title belt and says, you know, like he's like worthy of wearing the title like the greats, like, you know, Macho Man and Bret Hart and Stone Cold and stuff. So the title actually looks pretty cool. I know that I ever really watched wrestling like when that title was around. Obviously it was like after, or it was like, yeah, before I started like kind of watching wrestling, but I thought that was a pretty cool thing. And then of course he, you know, so he was getting like cheers for that, and then he did like the whole heelish thing by saying, you know, he deserves it far more than all the others and he's going to be better than blah blah. So then John Laurinaitis comes out and says that Triple H wants Cody to have a match tonight against John Morrison. So obviously, you know, Cody's still wearing like his like suit and stuff, so he's not like fit to wrestle, but he still wins. I just didn't really like that match, to be honest. Just, I don't know. Why did they just go around and be like, what are they doing with John Morrison? Seriously, you know, he could have had like a really good feud with like R-Truth. I know they've obviously moved Truth and Miz into this kind of program with like Triple H and stuff, but you know, they kind of ruined that since I've not really cared about Morrison. But hey ho. So then they go backstage, and obviously Triple H has a go at Laurinaitis for making a match. Says, you know, that's not your job, it's mine. Then Laurinaitis, we've got bigger problems than that. And then like we see that Miz and Truth have like taken out Air Boom in the locker room, so security comes again and throws them out. So that's the second time that they kind of showed up. So then we have the women's match, obviously Beth Phoenix versus Kelly Kelly, and Beth is finally the champion. So relieved, honestly. I was like, literally, this match, you'd think it was like some amazing, like, you know, world title match or something, like, I don't know, my ultimate dream match, like Jeff Hardy versus Shawn Michaels versus Randy Orton or something. But you know, it's like Beth Phoenix versus Kelly Kelly. Like every time Kelly did a roll up, I was like, no, don't you dare. Because you know, she did that like so many times during the match, and I was like, you cannot win with this roll up again. But slightly disappointed with the way, you know, Beth actually won. But that doesn't, you know, take away from the fact that Beth is now champion, and that's like going to be so awesome, and I just hope she keeps the title for like ever. So you know, so yeah, so well. Kelly, I can't even talk. Kelly hits the top rope bulldog, and it's like, it should have been a 3 count. It was really bizarre how it happened. I was kind of like, what? It's like such a late kick out. I you know, had to rewind it and watch it again to make sure, you know, the ref didn't actually count 3. But then Natalya, like, takes out Eve on the outside, and Beth puts Kelly in that submission move that Natalia's been using lately. So obviously then Natalya's on the mic saying, oh no, scream Kelly, we can't hear you and stuff. And then when the ref's not looking, she actually hits like Kelly over the head with the mic, which I was a bit like, oh no, Beth had to like kind of cheat to win. Not that it was really Beth's fault, she didn't kind of like plan it, Natalya just did it. But then Beth hit the Glam Slam for the win, so I was like, yes. So that was awesome, I'm happy. Guys, she actually did it, so I don't have to riot now, even though you guys are probably wanting me, you know, to go on like a crazy rampage again. Like last time when I went mad when Kelly won. Anyway, so that was that, and then the main event was obviously the triple threat match between Alberto Del Rio, CM Punk and John Cena in the Hell in a Cell for the WWE title. You know, they're making such a massive deal of it. It's like, you know, the first time we've seen like 3 men in Hell in a Cell, and I'm like, they've done 6 before. Not that big a deal. But you know, whatever. I mean, obviously, yeah, it was obviously kind of different like style of match, you know, because you were kind of thinking, well, who's going to like take on who? Is anyone going to team up? Like the normally doing triple threat matches, you get 2 of them kind of working together, but honestly, because these guys all hate each other so much, like none of them would like, you know, help each other, because like at the start, Del Rio was, you know, in the corner, and like Punk attacked him, but then Cena threw Punk off him so he could attack Del Rio, and they just kept doing that back and forth, so it was actually, you know, a pretty good match. It's a bit slow, you know, to start with, but once you got like halfway through, Cena's going for like the 5-knuckle shuffle, but Punk like kicks him in the head, and then he goes up on the top rope to do like a diving elbow, like again, like what she just did, but then Del Rio like pushes him off, so he like falls through like the table, which has been set up on the outside. So that's quite sick. We don't see like table like proper table bump. Obviously announce table things, yeah, but you don't see many kind of table spots really anymore. So that's quite nice. But then Ricardo Rodriguez attacks the ref while Cena's got Del Rio in the STF, and you know, attacks him and takes the key out of his pocket and unlocks the cell and like chucks Del Rio like a steel pipe. So this is where it's like really awesome because like Del Rio hit Cena with a steel pipe and like threw him out of the cage, and then you know, brought the lock on the inside and actually locked Cena out of the cell, and I was like, whoa, this is going to be awesome. This, you know, pretty much guarantees like, you know, a new WWE champion. So you know, Del Rio does, like, hits like a nice kind of springboard kick on Punk, and then he hits Punk with a steel pipe a few times and wins, and obviously Cena's like devastated, you know, because he's been like locked out, and then like the cell kind of like lifts up, obviously like it does after the match, so Cena gets in, but then Miz and R-Truth like appear from somewhere and like get in under there, and the cell like lowers down again, so like no one can get in, so they're literally just beating up everybody, beating up Punk and Cena, Del Rio. They take out the referees, even like the cameramen, so they haven't even got like a camera inside the cell anymore, because they just like take them out, and, like all the other like, you know, WWE superstars like are on the outside trying to break the lock. Triple H is there, obviously absolutely furious. But they managed to kind of like cut through the cells like bolt cutters, and then the police go in and like arrest Miz and R-Truth, and as they're like bringing them out, Triple H like just goes crazy and like attacks them. So that was like pretty cool. But then he gets like kind of held back, and they get like led away, and obviously Triple H is like raging as like, you know, the little logo appears, and you're like, no, it's the end of the show, you can't end there. So that was like a pretty cool kind of like cliffhanger like finish. So now I really want to see Raw to see what happens. So yeah, it was a pretty bad show overall. But so I would never like actually watch it again. I'd never bother to watch it again. But obviously like the end of the main event obviously was really good, and you know, they are continuing the story, and I'm so happy to see like Miz and R-Truth again, because obviously they're like, you know, my favourite wrestlers like over the last like month or so. And then, you know, they haven't been on TV for 2 weeks, and it's like, no, rubbish. So, yeah, I was glad to see them back, and obviously Beth winning, it was amazing, and I'm glad that, you know, the Orton and, like, Henry feud's, like, still going, and it hasn't gotten, like, really, like, dire yet. So, yeah, that was my Hell in a Cell review. I'm sorry if it's a ramble, I'm so tired. I'm, like, running on, like, no energy at the moment. I barely slept, like, all weekend, and obviously working, like, you know, 11, 12 hours is really tiring, and I need to drink now, and it's actually really hot. So, yeah, I'm going to stop complaining. So, no, thanks for watching this video. Again, sorry for no SmackDown review yesterday, but obviously I'm going to put this up tonight. I'll do my Raw review on Wednesday, and it's obviously my question and answer number 2 on Friday. So please, if you haven't left a question yet, please leave, you know, in the, you know, comment box below, or you can send it to me on a private message, whatever you want to do. I've got quite a few questions already, but I've still obviously got room for, like, loads more. If it's going to be as long as it probably won't be as long as my last video, because that was kind of crazy. But, you know, so yeah, that's pretty much it. And, yeah. Comment, like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.